Hi, I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee. And coming soon from Image Comics, Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. All three of those books are available for pre-order by following the pre-order links in the show notes below. They came from Inner Space. It's issue 5 of the Micronauts, the Prometheus Pit. I'd say so far this is the best cover of the series. It's dramatic, intense lighting, very attention-getting, very clear, a variety of characters with a looming villain, and makes me want to check out the book and see what's going on inside. And there they are, the Micronauts in the Prometheus Pit. And they made their way to the Human Engineering Life Laboratory. They're following Bug, who got separated from them a couple of issues ago. And they're riding around the Astro Station, which is one of the toys, one of the actual Micronauts toys, unlike their ship, the Endeavor. And it only occurs to me now that Endeavor is a synonym of Enterprise. And so they come to a fence, a high-voltage electrical fence. They've reached the vertical limit of their Astro Station, so they can't fly over it. They have to cut their way through. And it seems odd to me that the Astro Station wouldn't be able to fly over it, but I guess they had to come up with some kind of device to get the drama of cutting, of these little characters cutting through an electric fence. Having a Croyer, their heavyweight hard hitter, their Superman do it. And I like this open air panel at the bottom. And back at the Coffin residence in their garage, Biotron is doing repairs on the Endeavor. It's an electrical vehicle, so he's powering it up using the electrical system of the house. And we met Muffin, Steve Coffin's dog, in prior issues. Now we're meeting Steve Coffin's cat. Now they're in, and the Micronauts are flying through the parking lot and having a flashback to their prior meeting with Steve Coffin, and they're trying to figure out what to do about the dog, this ferocious creature. Marionette, in this beautiful sequence, I really like these kind of like multi-figure sequences of a figure hurtling through the air, like something you'd see in Spider-Man or Daredevil. Just really well executed here. Michael Golden's art just gets better from issue to issue, and just has such an amazing facility. The guy can draw pretty much anything. A note that sort of struck me as a bum note in issue 2 was Arcturus Ran blasting poor Muffin with his laser gun. But they address that here and make it appear as if that wasn't maybe just a miscalculation on the part of the creative team, but that it's part of the ongoing story, that Marionette tells him that Arcturus Ran and a Croyer, you like to just barrel into situations guns blazing, but what you didn't recognize is that dog, it wasn't some ferocious beast. It was somebody's pet. You really need to get a better read on things. And so she's convinced that she can get this dog under control with some kindness. And Robotron has a bad feeling about this, and he's covering his eyes, but she's figuring that Muffin will be able to lead them to Bug. And so, again, making good use of having sort of miniature characters. If you remember those sort of hand crank window openers, she's struggling with the door, and so they launch a rocket at it, and Muffin jumps out with Marionette riding on the back. The dog's yelping and howling as it runs toward the front door of Human Engineering Life Laboratory. It runs through, and security is busy trying to track them down, but the Micronauts are unable to follow, and so they find a vent outside. Robotron unscrews it, they pull it off and fly the Astro Station inside. Beautiful panel here where Arcturus Ran wonders what Time Traveler's up to, and then we get this really nice little scene here, of Bug sort of sitting up high on a pipe watching the drama unfold between Dr. Philip Prometheus, Ray Coffin, and Steve Coffin. And he's got print-ups of Croyers, which Steve recognizes and names them. The creatures from the microverse on display there. So Prometheus does know about the microverse. He does have specimens he's brought back, but he's never found a live specimen, and the fact that Steve has interacted with them and actually knows their names is of great interest to him. Bug's watching the whole thing, and he has a bad feeling about this Philip Prometheus guy. And we see that he built a pit. I built this, my Prometheus pit, to find a way to reach those micro-universes. And we get a close-up of Dr. Prometheus, and we see that, he's kind of like a Bernie Wrightson character. He's got like a strange enlarged eye with all these sort of facets on it. And he tells his backstory, how he was on a space mission in the orbiting space station Starlab. It was bombarded with cosmic rays, similar to the kind that gave the Fantastic Four their powers. It killed the rest of his crew. It spared him, but it damaged his organs so much that they needed to be replaced with bionics. And so he is a cyborg. And I can become like unto a god. Help me, boy. Tell me where those living sub-aliens can be found. Bug is watching all this. Sheesh, this Prometheus character is like a primitive version of Baron Karza. So, I mean, the story in this comic is really gelling, really heating up in this issue. And I like the idea that what happened on Homeworld in the microverse could also happen here, and that he is this is almost like we're seeing the origin story of Earth's version of Baron Karza, an earlier point in his journey, and that Earth could end up just like Homeworld, except with Philip Prometheus in charge instead of Baron Karza. Now it's revealed that the security guards that work for Philip Prometheus are cyborgs, looking a lot like the Terminator, even though this predates the Terminator movie by a couple years. He's choking Steve Coffin, and down comes Bug to the rescue. He slashes Prometheus's face. A sub-alien alive? This is exactly what Prometheus has been looking for. Touch that kid again and I'll gut you. And so now we cut back to the microverse. So we have a lot of exciting stuff going on Earth and a lot of exciting stuff going on Homeworld. It's continuing where we left off. People that were rounded up are now being herded into this prison. Karza is talking to Duchess Belladonna, and she's upset that she hasn't gotten a body yet to replace hers. Baron Karza is giving like a little explanation of how things work on Homeworld and describing the economy there, where cast your eyes on the Homeworld I have recreated to fit my own conception. A technological paradise where the rich bask in the luxury of eternal youth. A world where the middle class works endlessly to amass the life credits necessary to purchase immortality, and where those without patience recklessly gamble their hard-earned wages, hoping to win life points in the gaming temples of the shadow priests, but where more often than not they win only a return to their daily drudgery. Of course, there are those who are unhappy with this system I have devised. They are the poor and the outcast, those who have no voice. They exist only to serve, as recruits in my army of dog soldiers, or as organic fodder for my body banks. Those who refuse to accept either role swell the growing ranks of rebellion until my troops catch up with them. So yeah, describing the sort of economy of Homeworld and how it's this exploitative system that provides for the needs of a small number, while most people are sort of screwed by it. And Slug, the rebel leader, has to find Prince Argon. Only he can rally the remnants of the underground, and that's why she's allowed herself to be captured and go into this prison. We see Prince Argon has broken free, and we see, in full reveal, the alterations, the surgical alterations that Baron Karza has made to Prince Argon in the body banks, merging Argon with his horse Oberon into some kind of centaur figure. And Slug says, "It is Prince Argon, he whom I've come to rescue. But by Dallin and Sepsis, what ungodly change has Baron Karza wrought on him? Is he human still?" And so he is in full fury, blasting away, but It has no effect on Baron Karza, who has a shield, and he blasts Prince Argon with his eye beams, like Dark Side, and just really beautifully drawn. And Slug says, "Karza, you murderess." So she's revealed herself and drawn attention to herself, and Baron Karza says, "I believe my troops have ferreted out the perfect form for your next 1,000 years or so, girl." Me? Yes. She displayed spirit. Her body will serve splendidly. So Slug revealed herself, but now Baron Karza, in noticing her, has chosen her to be the new body that the Duchess Belladonna's brain will occupy. We're back at the Prometheus lab. Muffin runs in with Marionette riding. There's a nice reunion with her and Bug. Muffin's barking at Prometheus, but the floor is tilting to kind of push them into the pit, which leads to the microverse. A Croyer busts in, and he's ready to fight. He destroys one of the cyborgs, one of the Terminators. Robotron grabs Steve Coffin's leg to keep him from falling into the pit. There's a crash up above, and like Batman in the Tim Burton movie, Arcturus Rand comes flying in through the ceiling. Great entrances for everybody. We get a preview of Frank Miller's first Daredevil issue, and they're fighting it out, but Ray Coffin heroically comes up and grapples with Prometheus, and so now Ray Coffin and Philip Prometheus tumble into the Prometheus Pit, falling into the microverse. Next issue, The Great Escapes. This comic, which started with so much promise, is paying off on it. It's unfurling and unfolding, and more interesting with each issue. The Homeworld stuff is compelling. The Earth stuff is compelling. It's really building, and is just a really enjoyable reading experience. And we also get the first letters column, which is very interesting and worth exploring. And maybe I will explore some of the letter columns in a future episode. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee. And coming soon from Image Comics, Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. All three of those books are available for pre-order by following the pre-order links in the show notes below. I'll see you next time for Micronaut Monday.